Hello everyone, this is Jared from J-Rod Production Studios and welcome to my review of set number 7964, the Republic Frigate. Now this has been a set that I've wanted to review for quite a while, and thankfully I'm starting the new weekly throwback to Clone Wars era sets here on the channel, so every week here I'll be reviewing different Clone Wars sets, and this week happens to be the Republic Frigate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the set and minifigures. Now I feel what really makes this set is the minifigures, so let's start off by taking a closer look at those. Now I have got to say that I think these are some of the best minifigures that we ever got in a Clone Wars set, and these minifigures right here are worth about the original value of this set, especially the two clone troopers on the side here. This one goes for about 50 bucks, the Commander Wolf, and then this one goes for about 25, 30 bucks, and then even the Jedi are kind of rare because all of these figures except for Yoda were exclusive to the set at the time, and I think only Quinlan Vos here has had a remake. So let's go ahead and start off by taking a look at the clone troopers. So Commander Wolf is probably my favorite minifigure of the set, and honestly he's probably one of my favorite minifigures ever, at least my favorite clone trooper ever made. It's just one that you would not expect LEGO to make, so it's awesome that they did this, and they did it very accurately. It's the armor that you would see in the first couple seasons of the Clone Wars. It wasn't his finale of Season 3 armor or whatever, but as you can see here, they even got the scarred head right where he has a missing eye, which is awesome. And that headpiece is worth quite a bit of money itself because that's a very unique clone trooper head. And there is his back printing, and as you can see, he just comes with a few different armor additions, but I think it's most accurate to have the, I don't even know what I call this, the rangefinder and his blast comma along with his two DC 17 blaster pistols there. And the next figure, which is arguably just as good and probably just as popular, is the Wolfpack Trooper itself. Now it's really hard to get these in numbers, so it's awesome just to have one or two of these. And I honestly like the Phase 1 variant more than the Phase 2 just because the sand blue markings I feel like are more accurate to the actual in-universe clone trooper than the Phase 2, which is a little bit more gray. And it's an awesome figure. As you can see, his head is just the standard clone trooper head at the time, the Clone Wars version, and then the back printing, he just has a jetpack. It's the same body and legs as the Commander Wolf, just a different helmet and jetpack and stuff. So they go awesome together, hand in hand, and it's awesome that we got both of these in this set. The next figure here is the Eth Koth Jedi, which is an awesome addition if you have some of the Eth Koth troopers from the battle pack that came in 2011. Awesome figure right here. This one's a little bit more expensive than I thought it would be. I had to get a lot of these figures separate from the set just because it didn't come with all of them. So this one right here is worth about 20 bucks, and it's a great little figure. I love the hairpiece on it, and it's got the typical Clone Wars white arms on it. So awesome Jedi, and definitely a great addition to the set. The next figure is the Quinlan Vos. Now this was unique at the time, and I think we had one other rendition of this figure coming in the 2015 or 2016 Clone Turbo Tank, whatever that was, and this is the only Clone Wars variant ever made, at least. Just some unique printing. I think this, all unique pieces to it, maybe except for the hairpiece, like unique. Comes with a green lightsaber. All the figures in this come with a green lightsaber, except for the clone troopers, obviously. But awesome figure and great printing on that as well. And the most common figure in the set is the Yoda, of course, the Clone Wars version. Not too big of a fan of this version compared to the others that have been released, but it is still a good figure regardless. Comes with a green lightsaber and rather simple back printing. Now to take a look at the ship itself. As you can see, it's kind of big to fit on my little review table I have here, and the lights don't do the best job at illuminating it all just because it's such a big ship, honestly. The set comes with a total of 1,015 pieces, so it's a pretty big ship here, and at 120 bucks was definitely a good price back in the day. And this set goes for a lot more now, as mentioned, especially with the figures. But we're just going to pick this up. There is a handle in the middle right here that allows you to move this thing around. As M&R would say, it has its swooshability. It definitely is quite an awesome ship. I like the way it looks from about every direction. So let's go ahead and start off with the features in the front. So in the front here, as you can see, that there is a pretty decent design with all the greebling on the ship itself, using even a little telephone piece there, and sort of a communication satellite, and these two sort of guns in the front actually are not just stationary guns, they are also flick fire missiles, so you can fire those off if I can get them to launch. But you get the point. Back before the stud shooters and the the spring-loaded shooters were all the rage. This was what we had to work with back in 2011 for all you kids out there who didn't remember this. No, just kidding. Now the set itself and the inside is rather dull, and as you can see, there is not really anything inside there except to place a figure. A figure itself fits decently well. There's not really any spot to set the actual legs in place with a stud, so just kind of sits in there loosely. No control panel or anything, but as you can see, it works just fine for what it is. And next here, this is the escape pod on the side right here, which I don't think that's the in-universe location of it, but it works well for the set. And to release it, you simply have to pull this, and it will drop right on out. And it looks a little wonky without that in there, so but the set, or the escape pod itself, is pretty roomy inside. You can fit 4 or 5 figures in there pretty easily. You even have a little bit of a space for the blasters, so clone troopers and Jedi go in there pretty well. You can just go ahead and throw your figure in there however you like. This dude has a jetpack on, so it's kind of hard to fit in there, but you get the picture. They all fit in there very nicely. You just close the canopy, and to get this back in, you just slide it back up and in and close the little lever right there. Next, we're going to take a look at the midsection of the ship right here. As you can see, there's 2 rotating blasters right there. The ones on the bottom don't actually rotate, they just move up and down. One addition I think they could have done a little bit better was to make them move simultaneously. Individually is not that accurate, and it just, I don't know, it can get a little bit annoying when they're kind of all over the place. But on the inside of the set, and right here on this side at least, as you can see, there is some bombs right here and a crate. I don't think there's anything in it, or actually there is. We just have some of the macros right there. So for the lever that's on the side right here that you can pull out, you can simply just take your little top hatch here, open it up, and drop in the bombs as I previously showed you. And when you lift this thing up and you open up the hatch, let me set the camera down here. When you open up the hatch, they will actually fall out the bottom, as you can see. So definitely a nice little addition right there, and I kind of miss the days when they used to have those included in all the sets. Now on the other side here, I apologize, I'm missing one of the little guns on the bottom. It's one of the few pieces that was missing when I ordered this set. On the inside here, it's nice and roomy as well, and I think this is one of the fewer sets from the day that they did a good job of just getting the inside right. And I'm going to try to pick this camera up again so you can see it properly. But nice little control panel there, what looks like to be a hologram, and just different little areas. I think there's supposed to be a weapons crate on the inside too that I don't end up having, but figures fit pretty well in there. If you set the figures in here, you might have to crouch them down a little bit, so a figure like Commander Wolf is gonna bonk his head a little bit, so you do have to eventually end up sitting them down, which can be a pain when your clones and all the figures have little armor additions. So it's best to fit little short Jedi like Yoda in there, and where the top won't interfere with it. Now on the back side here, this is arguably my favorite part of the ship. I just really like the engine design, and it just really captures the set pretty well in my opinion. The top portion right here opens on up. There is a printed control panel in there, so it's kind of funny when you go to stick your figure in this portion of the set. It's actually more accurate than the actual cockpit, which makes little to no sense to me, but it works for what it is. And you just got more of the flick fire missiles back here that you can launch off. They don't work real well because they're aged now, but just nice little details on the set itself. And on the engines on the back here, go ahead and take a look at those. Kind of simple looking from the back, but in the front I think they look awesome. Just little yellow pieces. From the side they look a little bit better in my opinion, and the back build is a little bit simpler than the front. There's not a whole lot of greebling going on, but especially the back midsection right here, this would be where the escape pods would be. Definitely looks pretty darn great in my opinion. Alright, that was just a real quick overview of the set itself. Now I think that's the completion of this review, so if there's anything I missed, go ahead and let me know in the comment section, and I will be sure to correct the error that I made. So final thoughts, I really like this set. I think it's one of the best Clone Wars sets of the time. I think the features are great on it. I think the minifigure selection is excellent, and I think this is definitely one that captures the era well. A few different problems with stability on the set, like just a lot of parts fall off and kind of come loose over time, but that's just part of the age of the set as well. But awesome set, guys. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is part 2 of the Throwback review series that I'm doing here on the channel. So thank you all for viewing. Make sure your notification bell's turned on so you don't miss a video. And as always, guys, have a great day.